This overview is going to provide you a quick overview of Unit 2 and specifically look at Concept Unit 2.1, which is the first unit in Unit 2. You'll notice that this unit covers weeks 3 through 6, and that your cultural artifact speech is delivered in week 6. Again, because it's a summer course, you're moving at twice the speed, but you're going to notice that this unit looks a little bit different than previous units because this is going to be very focused heavily on developing your speech, because the cultural artifact speech is the first of your 2 required research speeches in the class. This is important because if you don't complete this speech, you fail the class. So you want to make sure that you are completing this speech so that you can get through the last speech and then gain credit in the course. So let's take a look in Unit 2 at Unit 2.1 so we can see what's in there. You're going to see that this unit's going to cover intercultural communication, small group communication, and you will begin working on the cultural artifact speech. You'll also see down here in the note that this particular unit contains 3 discussion boards, the proposal for your upcoming cultural artifact speech, and a critical thinking question assignment. This has been started in the last week of the previous unit, Unit 1. So as soon as you finish Unit 1.4, please move on to this unit, as you'll need to get going pretty quickly. You'll notice here that you're going to read Chapters 6 and 8. Chapter 6 is about intercultural communication. It's a pretty dense chapter, and there's a couple ideas that are a little complicated to understand. So I've provided you a couple of videos, which we'll take a look at in just a minute. And Hofstede's Cultural Dimensions Country Comparison. Hofstede's theory is presented in the chapter, but I think it's pretty dense and difficult to understand. When you get to go actually participate in the country comparison online, it's actually a really neat way to be able to see what Hofstede is talking about. And then when you're done with that particular assignment, you'll come down here to this section and do the discussion board on culture and communication. Chapter 8 is about working in small groups and organizational communication. We're really focusing on the small group work. So as you work on your cultural artifact speech, you actually will be working with your team on the development, planning, preparation of that speech, and then hopefully you'll be able to help each other a little bit on your delivery. So you'll see down here a little bit, this section on preparing to work on a team is going to build on what you learn in Chapter 8. So let me take just a minute and come back up here to these videos that have to do with Chapter 6. And you're going to see that accessing these videos requires you to do a little bit of setup. So these are available through a database in the COD library called lynda.com. If you try to access the videos directly, it's going to ask you to pay for access to lynda.com. You do not need to do that. All you need to do is come right here to click here, see the instructions, and you're going to use your dupage.edu email to access the database. Once you do that, you'll be able to watch these videos. You will notice that when you click on the video up near the top, I'll see if I can click on this one. It's going to open up in a separate window. You're going to see up here at the top, it's going to say things like start your free trial. Just ignore those things. What you want to do is preview this course. That will give you access to the video file that's posted here. So don't do anything but just use your dupage.edu library card to sign up for lynda.com. The M time and P time culture is also a very accessible video through lynda.com. So all you have to do is once you've signed up, you'll be able to access that video. So moving back into the larger unit, I already talked about these 2 items here. So I'm going to move into preparing to work as a team. You'll notice here that it says you're going to work collaboratively, and that your teamwork can result in extra credit if your team scores the highest average on the speech. Excuse me. What that means is each person in your group is going to do their individual speech. Your working as a team has no impact on that element of the assignment. you are just delivering your cultural artifact speech and receiving a single grade, your personal grade for that speech. However, what happens is at the end of the speech, I take the grades of all the people in your group, say group C right here, and I average their individual grades. Then I rank the teams, team A, team B, team C, or however many teams there are, based on the average score of their individual speeches. Then you can get extra credit based on those individual scores. The concept is that if you work well as a team, you share your ideas, you collaborate on the preparation of what you're doing, that you'll be able to help each other achieve a higher score. In most cases, this works really great. I have had teams that have tied and have split the total points equally among the teams. So there's a lot of interesting ways that you can motivate each other to do as best as you can on doing the assignment. I understand sometimes students get a little frustrated when someone else in their group isn't performing at the same level that they are. But remember, that doesn't really hurt you because those of you who are working well together should achieve high enough scores that it may offset an individual straggler. The other thing is you can certainly encourage that individual to perform more effectively as a team member. You're also going to notice here that there's this note in red. This folder contains a discussion board, so make sure that you're scrolling all the way down to the bottom of the folder once you're inside to make sure you see that discussion board. So once we open up this folder, you're going to see a couple of videos about how to work effectively as a team. These are really great, and one of the reasons that I've implemented this element within the course is because most of the time in real life when people work on speeches, they do not work individually. In fact, I just completed a consulting job with a professional speaker, and she was engaged with several people actually helping her. I was the main person assisting her in the organization and development of her message, but others were also helping her with her delivery. So that's the way public speaking really happens in the real world. So you're going to get an opportunity to participate in that as well. Again, you're going to see down here that once you have accessed these videos and watched them, you're to participate in a discussion board. The discussion board is asking you to explore some of the things that are in your skill set. What are the things that you bring to a team that can help you to work effectively with others? It also asks you what things you need from others to work along with them effectively. And then last of all, it asks you to think of some ideas that might help you and your team members work effectively online. So participating in this discussion really helps your team to build some camaraderie, set some goals for yourselves, and get to know each other so that you can work more effectively together. Most of us may not have ever had an experience like this, participating online in a group or a work team. If you have, you may have some special insights that you could provide to the other members of your group that may help them work more effectively. So once you've done this part working as a team, you're going to go back into the larger unit, and then you are going to take a look at your cultural artifact speech. Please remember that this speech is not about a culture, it's about an artifact of a culture, co-culture to which you belong. And I'm going to post a separate overview of this so you can see what that means. Finally, in this unit, you want to do your critical thinking questions, and those will help you process what you're learning about intercultural communication and small group and organizational communication. So good luck as you open up this unit 2.